Fort Myers, Florida. We're excited to attend another President Trump rally tomorrow and bring it to you guys. I'm Alyssa Ashe.
I'm Bailee Byers.
And I'm Micah.
So thank you guys so much for joining. We're going to have a fun, just pre-rally stream where we're going to kind of break down what we're expecting tomorrow and also some of those key political races here in Florida. So it's going to be a great time. And Micah, can you kind of kick us off and tell everyone what your role will be with us tomorrow?
So I'm going to be cameraman, like we saw in Houston, which apparently you guys loved, was having that outside view as well as the inside view. And that's kind of what we're shooting for again here in Florida. So that's going to be my role again, is to be outside doing all that fun stuff.
Good. Yeah, it'll be a great time. It's so great to show those crowds because there are literally thousands of people that can't get in.
Yeah, and I think it kind of makes it a little bit more all-encompassing, too, for those of you that can't go to a rally for whatever reason. You know, the fact that we'll be able to do the outside kind of version, and you can see, like, what it still looks like outside after it's, you know, begun, and then, you know, you'll see the inside, obviously, of course, with all of those crowds. So it kind of just adds, like, I don't know, like an all-encompassing effect to the already wonderful, you know, really inside look that you're getting. So I think it'll be great. So.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that...
My wife's in the chat.
Oh,
Hello.
really?
Aww.
Yeah.
That is so sweet.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good, you're good. Yeah, thank you for mentioning the chat. It looks like we had some waiting for the broadcast to start as well. So shout out to all of our regulars, Angela Ray, James Wolfe, British Patriot, Swoosh for Trump, Pamela M., and many others that are watching. We really appreciate you guys, and we're so glad that you've joined us here in Florida. It's absolutely beautiful here in Fort Myers. We had a beautiful sunny day, and it's so funny because we've been traveling all over the place, you know, going to just different rallies. We were just in Wisconsin, and it was freezing, and so our bodies are really confused as to what season it is.
It's been really warm, and why don't you tell the viewers what you did today?
Yeah, so we got in Florida a little bit earlier, so some of us actually got the chance to go to the beach for a minute, and that was really nice, really beautiful, and just saw the sunset over the beach, and so thankful for that. So I'm very relaxed right now and just ready for another week of rallies where we will actually be doing, I want to get it right, 11.
There's going to be 11.
We're going to do 10.
We are doing 10
yes.
in 6 days.
It's going to be a crazy week ahead.
Yeah.
We all just got our itineraries, and I think I had to look at it 12 times before I even really, was able to soak it into my head. So
definitely,
a lot going on.
It's super busy, and, you know, we wanted to get to every single one, but just one of them is just logistically not possible. So we're going to all that we can. It's going to be extremely crazy, and as you can imagine, very expensive as well. We are renting a third live view for 3 teams. So let's tell everyone kind of, you know, the breakdown. So right now we're kind of more combined. We will have Liz Willis with us tomorrow as well, and Max Kleiber. And then after that we are breaking off into different teams.
3 teams.
So 3 teams, yeah. So I'm on the green team with Aaron and Tom.
I'm on the red team with Max.
Not on the team.
Mike is here for this rally.
And then
this one only.
And then Liz is on the blue team. So
yes, with cameraman. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be crazy. And of course, we would love it if you guys could help support us, get to all of the rallies, and you know the different ways that you can do that. You can do it right here in YouTube on the Super Chat, or you can go to our website, rsbnetwork.com, and you'll see the different options there. So, Bailee, you want to start diving into the races and kind of what we're expecting?
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here in Florida. It's kind of crazy because now we're only a week out of midterms. You know, I mean, he began, I think, really honing in on these campaigns back in July. So, I mean, he's been really at this for quite some time at this point. But in regards to that, so this rally is really centered around Ron DeSantis, who is running for the Senate here. He was a former representative, he's running for governor. Getting them all mixed up. So he's running here. This rally tomorrow will be at the Hertz Arena. And I'm not sure, do you guys know how many people that's supposed to hold?
I will check on that.
But the president is expected to arrive at Southwest Florida International Airport, and he will be giving his remarks around 7 p.m. Eastern time. Local reports were saying you can definitely expect traffic delays, and there's obviously going to be a lot of security in the area. It's kind of interesting because this is only his third rally in Southwest Florida since he began campaigning back in 2015, but it's his 37th rally in the state of Florida since campaigning back in 2015.
Yeah.
So he's been here quite a bit, and he's definitely put a lot of emphasis on the importance of this state. So just a little bit more about the rally in regards to the basics. So the doors are set to open at 4. And so obviously we'll be there bringing you all the live coverage and getting interviews and all that fun stuff. He actually previously also held a campaign rally at this same arena. So it's not the first time he's been to this arena, which is also kind of interesting. But since I already mentioned it, for the governor's race, we have Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum, who is running against former Representative Ron DeSantis. He actually resigned from his post a few months ago to focus on campaigning for the gubernatorial race. Trump has obviously, thrown his support behind DeSantis, and he's been very vocal about that. Analysts do deem the state a toss-up. However, recent polls indicate that the two are very close together. They're essentially neck and neck. A recent CBS poll said that DeSantis was only 1 point behind Gillum, which is obviously, a pretty tight race. So it's essentially in dead heat at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how things turn out. But a little bit about DeSantis. He attended Yale, Harvard, and he's a Navy veteran. I was listening to a interview earlier today, and he was talking about how Gillum is campaigning on a 40% tax hike, which would essentially eradicate a lot of the economic progress that he's been working to achieve. So, something to think about when you're headed to the polls. But DeSantis, he's also said that Gillum is way too liberal for Florida. And I personally think that, he's very close with the president, and I think his relationship with him, he will be able to capitalize on that to really garner even more support than he already has. Because he's well liked across the state, but I think his relationship with the president can only help him project his campaign further. So, I don't know. What do you think, Liz?
That's good.
Or not Liz?
Alyssa. Our names are similar. But, I don't know. I'm not as familiar with these candidates, but excited to dive in. But, I've just heard that DeSantis is in trouble just because of how popular Gillum is. He's been called charismatic, and he has just a huge following. And it's kind of more, I don't know how to say this, but he does hone in on a lot of social issues, and people are really passionate about that as well. And so we're just going to have to, see how it goes. I'm looking forward to hearing DeSantis speak. I can't remember if we heard him speak at the Tampa rally or not. Probably. We had that one a while ago. But we'll just have to see. And answering your question earlier, you were asking about the capacity in the Hertz Arena. It's about 8,000.
Okay.
So definitely we're going to have a couple thousand outside that are not able to get in. And I just found an article actually from Naples Daily News, and Naples, Florida is really close to us. And it says that some Southwest Florida businesses are actually allowing employees to take the day off.
Oh, that's interesting.
To attend the rally, yeah. So that is definitely cool. And, it's Halloween, too. And so that's going to be fun. Maybe we'll see some costumes tomorrow.
We might.
Hopefully. Yeah. We'll have to see. We're not sure because people might be kind of, worried of wearing costumes just because of going through Secret Service. And that might be just a little tough. But kind of looking at this article, one quote that was really interesting. So Adam Botana, he is the president of the Baywater Boat Rentals in Bonita Springs. And he said, if any of our employees want to go, then I don't see any problem with letting them take the day to go watch our president at a campaign rally. Any president, whether it was Obama or Nixon or anybody. So I definitely think that that's really cool. And then, let's see, another fact here. So companies like Crowther Roofing in Fort Myers, Marine Concepts in Cape Coral, and Evelyn and Arthur Women's Clothing Store in Bonita Springs all said they've actually not had any employees ask for the day off, but they would try to accommodate those requests if necessary. So hopefully we're going to see a big turnout tomorrow. Anything that you're expecting or hoping to see, Micah?
In regards to tomorrow, I expect the normal, if that makes any sense when it comes to Trump rallies. What I expect is crowds to pack the arena, people to be left outside, and those people to be wishing they would have got in. And people have been waiting for, I'm sure people are already waiting in line.
Yeah.
And if we went out there tonight, I'm sure there'd be people already camped out. So I'm kind of expecting the average Donald Trump campaign rally, really.
Yeah. Definitely. It'll be really good. And of course, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about tomorrow, if you happen to be going, we would love to know that. We want to interact with you guys. So hit us up on Twitter. You can message me at Alyssa Ashe, RSBN. And Bailee, how can they contact you?
You can reach me on Twitter at Byers_Bailee.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter, so.
That's okay. That's okay. It's been good really getting a lot of your feedback today, and good to hear from you, retired person, or Richard and Andrew and Indie Wars, Trump of God, Jeff Hollifield, Mr. Ebanks, and Keck Artist. So we kind of covered the races and a couple fun facts as well I wanted to share with you guys. So we were talking about this on the plane earlier, and I'll say the basics, and then you can kind of dive into it if you want. Just about some laws in Florida. So Florida is a no open carry state, but of course people can still have those concealed carry permits. And Rick Scott actually signed into law that weapons can only be bought by 21-year-olds. So can you kind of explain that a little bit more?
Right. So this is a big contention after we had the shooting down here in Florida. And it started with that, and there was obviously the push for gun control after that shooting in a lot of different states, not just here in Florida, but especially here in Florida. And a bill was passed through the State House here in the state Senate here, and it was pushed to Governor Rick Scott's desk. And he signed it. And what that bill basically did was added some more restrictions on what could be done, and also increased the age if you're to purchase a long weapon, such as a shotgun, anything from a single, round shotgun to 22 long rifle to an AR-15, any of those weapons, anything that's longer than, I want to say 16 inches, anything with a barrel longer than 16 inches, you have to be now 21 years of age to purchase. And that's a big change from the normal 18 years of old.
Yeah.
Like in Georgia, Alabama, all the surrounding states are all 18.
I think it's the same way in California, too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, in California, it's very similar to the California law on the 21 years of age or older. And it was a big issue when it came forward and he passed that. A lot of people got angry at Rick Scott because he signed that into law in violation, some people would quote it being a violation of the Constitution. Some would say that even 21 years of age for a pistol would be a violation, but that was a big issue. You can still get a concealed carry permit, but now to even just buy a long rifle, to own a long rifle, you have to be at least 21 years of age. So, and I brought this up to you. It's interesting, all these National Guard troops that are out there and they go out and they shoot their rifle. Well, technically now they're in violation of the state law because they're carrying a long rifle and they're not 21 yet.
That's bizarre.
And it's just really interesting that they would push that. It's the same in California, and there's a couple other states. I think New Jersey's also one, which they're now pushing for more after the synagogue.
I'm sure Cory Booker's on it.
Yeah, so they're pushing more. So it's just interesting that Rick Scott, who's also running for Senate now, which is one of the big races here, that when he was governor, he kind of, to be honest, is soft when it comes to conservative issues. Doesn't take a lot of hard stances, and that's been a lot of issues for a lot of staunch conservatives, is to see that, and which is understandable, especially when it comes to gun rights and the Second Amendment and things like that. So that in regards to specifically the Florida law in regards to firearms, that was the big change that happened since what was the name?
Parkland.
Parkland school shooting.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I was gonna go into that race a little bit.
Yes, please do.
So for the U.S. Senate, I know we had mentioned Rick Scott. He's the current governor here, and for the Senate race, he's running against incumbent Bill Nelson, who's the Democratic nominee. So this race is also equally, if not even tighter than the governor's race. So experts do deem it a toss-up, but recent polls indicate that they're in complete dead heat. There was, I think, a CBS poll like in the last day or two, and they were both at 46%. Wow. So this race is really definitely hotly contested. So a little bit about Rick Scott. So he's a Navy veteran. He has a business degree, practiced law. So he resonates with the president quite a bit. Obviously diverts on issues such as, you know, the Second Amendment, but
we can get into that. But.
Yeah. And the president has fully endorsed him and DeSantis here. So two of the prominent politicians running for office. He's called him fantastic. He said he's good with the economy. He always backs our military, our veterans, and he's tough on crime and borders. So the president has vocalized that he does fully and strongly support him moving forward. So
good. You want to get into the Second Amendment a little bit?
So I'm always been a huge supporter of the Second Amendment. I'm just going to put that out there so you understand where I'm going from here. When it comes to Rick Scott and President Trump, they actually agree on numerous issues in regards to the Second Amendment, on limiting certain things. Bump stocks was a big thing that President Trump has pushed, which a lot of staunch Second Amendment supporters have been angry about. And, increasing, fix the background check, that whole thing. Trump was for that. And there's been a lot of issues when it comes to Republicans who are actually pushing forward gun control. And Rick Scott's one of those. And so those who are staunch Second Amendment supporters may see that and may be turned off by that. It doesn't mean they're going over to the other side and going over to Gillum, right?
Yeah, definitely not.
So, which he is absolutely, he thinks they should all be banned. So, they're not going over the other side, but they're not exactly happy about the state of, when it comes to the Second Amendment. Both with the local races here, as in the state race, and also on the national level as a whole.
Thank you. I appreciate that insight, and I know a lot of our viewers do as well. Of course, they support the Second Amendment as well, so we're getting a lot of positive comments there. Wanted to take a second and shout out some moderators that are here right now. Thank you so much, Sanity Personified, for all of your hard work, and everyone else hanging out with us tonight. Barbara Braley for also being such a fantastic moderator. Roger Vega, Real Frank in Florida. And also those website moderators, Common Sense, Reculp, and Gleno. We really appreciate you guys. And so kind of just going into some of the logistics for tomorrow. So it is going to be held at the Hertz Arena. And this is on Everblades Parkway in Estero, Florida. But it's really close to Fort Myers. And like we mentioned earlier, President Trump will be speaking at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but we're going to see some opening speakers come out starting at about 5:30 usually Eastern Time, and everyone will be able to enter again. Let's see when they're opening the doors to the public. I think it is either 3 or 4.
I believe it's 4.
Okay. Yes, media can go in at 3. General public can go in at 4. And
that's
of
what
course,
one of the local things was saying.
Okay, perfect. And you can get those tickets online if you haven't yet. DonaldJTrump.com/rallies. And make sure to get in line really early because it's always crazy. It always fills up and there's always thousands of people that can't get in. We expect that there are some that, might be camping out already right now. There always are, especially those front row Joes.
I was going to say, if you're not in line yet, go get in line.
Yeah. Yeah. Please do. So, I think we should also tell everyone, if you guys want, what different rallies we're each going to this week.
Yeah,
do you know?
Let me pull it up. I'm still studying it.
So, pulling up our itinerary right now.
I can just tell you, this is the only one.
Yes, that is.
Because I have a full-time job that I have to go back to. So, I do this on my off days.
Yes,
so
we're so glad to have you for this one. Thank you for coming.
It's always a blast.
You add so much to it. It's so good. And I know our viewers love seeing those crowds as well.
So I can tell you that, so I'm doing obviously Fort Myers tomorrow. And then I'm also doing Indianapolis on Friday.
Good. I know some of our viewers are going to be attending that one.
Okay.
Derek from Indie Wars and maybe Richard, retired person, as well. So they'll love to meet you.
And then also on Monday, Cleveland. And then I'm headed home.
Good.
What about you?
Good. I'm pulling it up right now too, but I already know that on Friday I am doing Huntington, West Virginia with Tom and Aaron, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And of course Patrick Morrissey's running. This is actually President Trump's third stop in West Virginia recently. I've been able to go to Charleston, West Virginia, Wheeling, West Virginia, so it's just a beautiful state, and I love the mountains, and so I'm really excited to see it. And then, let's see, also going to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Really excited about that. Very, very excited because I absolutely love Marsha Blackburn. I think she's fantastic. She has a great support base. You know, it's full of millennials and Gen Zers and just young people that absolutely love her, that campaign for her, that go door to door. And something that really stuck out to me back at actually my first rally, the Nashville rally, everyone was just chanting Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. And they were honestly more excited about Marsha than seeing President Trump.
I don't know that I've seen that ever, where they're like chanting the candidate's name and not the president. That's interesting.
Yes, they were so excited about her. They all had red Marsha shirts on, you know, passing out pamphlets and information. And it was really cool because I actually got to see her for the first time back in the spring at the National Religious Broadcasters Conference. And she was talking about public policy and free speech and just the different work that, you know, she's been able to do in office. And so it was really cool, you know, just to hear from her back then and to see what she's doing now as, you know, she fights to keep her spot.
Right.
And then also I am excited to go to, hold on, I want to say the right place, or maybe that's it. Thought there was another one.
You're blue, right?
Oh, Fort Wayne. No, I'm the green team.
Oh.
Yes, Fort Wayne, Indiana, which I need to research more about. Don't know too much about it yet, but always excited to see a new place. And so it's going to be a great time. I hope that you guys tune in for that. And also to let you know where the blue team is going. So, oh, and you mentioned that you guys are going to Columbia.
Indianapolis.
You're not going
Cleveland.
to Columbia.
I'm not.
You're not going to Columbia. So Columbia's crazy. They're literally traveling overnight just because there's so many rallies. So they will be going to Columbia, Missouri, the blue team. And then also they will have a rally in Pensacola, Florida on Friday. And where else are they going? Oh, yes. Macon, Georgia. Which is going to be really cool because it's really close to... you know, their home, the Willis' home in Georgia, so I know they're really excited to go there. And then also, oh, I want to say this right, Cape Girardeau, is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so.
Missouri.
I think
so. Okay. So it's going to be a fun time as well. I hope you guys are ready for a lot of RSBN because you're going to be seeing 2 and 3 rallies a day.
Yep.
Too much.
Lots of our faces everywhere.
Yes.
Yes. You won't see mine.
Yeah, so don't miss any work. You know, just watch them later. They will be there. But we would love to have you live as well. It'll be so much fun. And it's really fun interacting with you guys as well. And speaking of that, if you guys have any questions, please comment them right here in the YouTube chat. I have my laptop pulled up. And Micah and Bailee have the chat pulled up as well. And so we'll be able to read that and just answer any questions that you may have. I know some of you are really excited. British Patriot says, we're so ready.
I have a couple comments I wanted to address. There's a couple that were sporadic in there.
Mm-hmm.
One, someone said I should run for office. I honestly thought about it.
Yes,
I don't know if I'm going to or not, but that's...
Like what kind? Would you start local?
It would start local and then go to
Okay.
state, probably. That'd probably be the highest
good.
I would go. But
Yeah.
I've thought about it. It's
Do
not
it.
out of the picture. Now, in regards to, someone brought up the Florida law again in regards to open carry.
Mm-hmm.
So let me clarify. Open carry in regards to self-defense, like just carrying it around, like going to Walmart or whatever, is not legal. But you can carry a weapon if you're...
In the state of Florida, correct?
In the state of Florida. Going to or coming from are in the act of fishing, camping, or hunting.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if you're going to one of those events or coming from or participating in, you're allowed to have it.
Okay.
Obviously, with hunting, you kind of have to have it open. In regards to like fishing and camping, it's in regards to protecting yourself or just something like that. So, Sheriff Micah, no, thank you.
That's so funny.
No, thank you.
I was trying to convince Tom O'Neill to run for office. We talked for an hour yesterday about politics, and he was helping me, really just get ready for midterms. And I told him that he should definitely run in Ohio, and I will be his campaign manager. Then he was telling me I should run one day, so we'll see.
Maybe we'll both run. Maybe all three of you will run.
Yeah,
maybe
you should too.
No.
We should just
whole
all
RSBN
run.
crew should just all run for office.
Yes, that
also,
would be really fun.
thank you to Damon. Is it Bleach?
Bletch.
Bletch.
I think it's Bletch.
For your $5 donation, you said, "Get your jammies on and go to bed, kids. Big day tomorrow. Love you guys." That sounds awesome. Thank you for your donation.
Thank you so much. And we will be reading all of your comments. Also, huge thank you to our partners, Diamond and Silk. We are so thankful for you guys and that we are able to stream on your channels as well and get to know your viewers a little bit too. Also, Reddit/The Donald and Patriot Soapbox. We're really thankful for you guys. Shout out to Michelle and Thumper and Dead Cat. Hope you guys are watching. Really love seeing you guys at the rallies. They have really fun names that they go by on their different shows.
That's awesome.
And they're streaming all the time. These are some really devoted patriots. And I know that we are going to see so many devoted patriots tomorrow. Also, retired person, Richard commented, at Alyssa Ashe, I had the same talk with Tom at dinner in Carbondale, LOL. That is so fun. And I'm really glad you got to spend some time with Tom. He's fantastic and so good to talk to, especially about politics. I always love picking his brain just because he's so knowledgeable about, honestly, every state. And did you see that British Patriot says Micah needs to run for office?
Yeah, several people have said that. I got that. I got it. We need to run.
I agree, and I think you're just very level-headed and calm, and that is so needed in politics because, there's so much just discourse and yelling at each other from the other side, and I think you would just present the facts and get stuff done.
Well, I'd present the facts. I don't know if I get stuff done. There'd be a lot of people that disagree with me on a lot of things. But Stephen Mars asked, do you think the president will add a trip to Michigan? If so, will you be there? I don't think he's going to. I think at this point what we have now is probably going to be what's going to be there because you got to think about all the planning that goes into setting up one of these rallies and security, logistics, and everything like that. I mean, it's crazy that the fact that they're even able to do what they're doing now. So pushing it even further, I don't really see that happening. That would be a logistics security nightmare. If I was in charge of that, I would lose my mind. So I don't see them pushing that. If they did show up one, I don't know if we could even do it. We would try. We would try our hardest to be there. Absolutely. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom. Tom gave us a $10 donation.
Tom O'Neill.
He said, this is funny. He said, breaking news. There's an election day rally in Hawaii starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Preset is at 4 a.m. Who's going? Aloha. Just kidding.
Nope.
That is really funny, Tom. Thank you. And I hope you're seeing the nice comments about you. The British Patriot called you a political encyclopedia. Also, Richard asked...
Top hat Tom.
Oh, that's good. Yes. Richard asked, when will the rally be in Fort Wayne, Indiana? It is on Monday, November 5th.
Zach Sutton, I'm doing well. I think y'all are doing well as well. Thanks for the compliment on the great coverage. We do our best. And
let's see. Who said top hat Tom?
Several people did.
Pamela M. Okay, yes. That was because one night I was doing some primaries coverage and we were talking about this candidate up in New England, Brooke Page. And he always wears a top hat. That is what he's known for.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and so he ran for like 6 different positions. And so we were talking about him all night and just kind of looking at his bio, and then it kind of became a joke, and then someone actually ended up getting Tom a top hat.
That's awesome.
And it was so funny.
TFG says, I need to come to Canada and apply to be the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounties. And they are some pretty awesome officers, I'll say that. They're pretty top notch. So, good. But no, I'm not going to Canada. It's not happening. I like my America.
Good. Yes, please don't leave. We need you here. And British Patriot says, how many rallies is James going to? He is on the blue team.
At least 4, right?
At least 4. Let me count right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Wait, maybe 5. Oh, 5. Yep. Looks like 5 rallies. Yeah, and guys, we really also appreciate and covet your prayers. We're thankful for them. We need them because we're going to be going non-stop until Election Day. We're not going to get back until Election Day. I realized it, but it didn't really set in. So, it's going to be tough coming from a week of rallies, driving back to Auburn, and then doing that election night broadcast. And so, remind me to research every day, even more, while I'm on the road, because I'm not going to have days to do it, from the studio. And so,
November 7th will be relaxing.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to sleep all day. You will not hear from me on November 7th. You will not see me on Twitter. No. But
unfortunately, I won't be there. I have work.
I know.
I have work.
I know. You're leaving me.
You're killing it.
They're leaving me, guys. But thankfully, it'll be myself and Max Kleiber for a few hours, and then Tom O'Neill, and of course, cameraman James. And we're kind of talking to some of the college Republicans at Auburn University and hoping to get some guests as well that we can interview. Yeah, just to add a little bit of flavor to the broadcast. I think it would be fun.
A little spice.
A little sugar, a little spice.
I think it's nice to get people's opinions, though. Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to Election Day, and be like, just talk to them about what they think.
Yeah, especially someone's opinion that's totally immersed in like the college, the collegiate liberal institution, and how they deal with that. Mm-hmm. I always think that's interesting too.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard much from the Alabama race, but I know a lot about it.
Tell us about it.
That'd be great too.
Please do.
So it's not really in contention.
Yeah.
Mainly because the incumbent, which the main race is the governor race. Mm-hmm. The incumbent, which is Kay Ivey.
Mm-hmm.
She's done a very, very good job. She was lieutenant governor when Bentley was removed because of that whole scandal and everything that went with that. And then when she took office, she's done a lot of good work. Mm-hmm. Wasn't my pick for governor, to run for governor again, but she won, and she has my support. She hasn't done a bad job. She's done very well.
And she's very popular.
She is very popular, so I fully expect her to win. Mm-hmm. The Democratic contender, Maddox is the name of the individual, has been backed by Soros, has received lots of millions of dollars from him. Wow. They poured a lot of money into it. And I don't see that flipping, though. Yeah. They put a lot of money into it. I think they're wasting their money, honestly. Mm-hmm. Obviously, people would say, well, we didn't expect Alabama to go blue on a senator.
Yeah. And
that's true. But when it comes to a governor race, at least all the polls I've seen puts Kay Ivey ahead by at least 6 or 7 points. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, you never know till election day. But looking like
you never know. But
Alabama will stay red. So.
Yeah, and then I think one of the big... I think she's a representative. Is it Martha Roby? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, actually, so she's my hometown representative.
Oh, cool.
Martha Roby, yeah. She
I like her from the little that I've seen of her.
She has voted pretty well. I mean, there's some things I disagree with what she's voted on. Obviously, I'm no longer in her district anymore. Okay. I grew up in her district.
Gotcha.
And when I was still there, she became congresswoman. Mm-hmm. And but overall, she's pretty good.
Yeah, because I know her and the president didn't start off on the best note.
That is correct.
But they're supposedly fine now.
Good. That is good to hear. And also wanted to shout out, thank you so much, AB, for your $20 donation. It says, here's a small donation to start your campaign.
Whose campaign? Yours, mine, Bailee's,
I don't know.
Tom's? Which one are you talking about? Or all of them?
Yeah.
No, that obviously any donation goes straight to RSBN. We don't collect. There's no commission.
There's no.
But thank you for that. Really appreciate that. And let's see. We also want to hear about kind of as I would say we, but unfortunately these two fantastic hosts won't be there for Election Day.
Tear.
As I and Max, myself and Max and Tom, as we're preparing for midterms, let us know what candidates you really want us to hone in on, who you want us to focus on, and, you know, what states really matter to you. Obviously, we're going to be talking about battleground states more. Yeah, the swing states. We're going to talk about Florida. We're going to talk about Arizona, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, you know, those big states. But also let us know what matters to you, what you want to hear about, and maybe just some fun ideas to make the broadcast really interesting. Tweet me at Alyssa RSBN. Would love to hear from you guys. And, of course, we're going to continue reading your questions in the chat room. This is interesting. I don't know if either of you want to tackle this question from Eagle David McLeod, who says, is it true that Kanye West feels like he was being used? What do you think about that?
In regards to what?
Yes.
Feeling used by whom and in regards to what?
Yeah.
Clarify the question.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Please.
William M. says, my state is a lost cause, Oregon.
Let me tell you something, okay? I know people in Oregon. I spent an entire summer in Oregon.
Nice.
There are some very staunch conservatives in Oregon. The problem is they're overwhelmed
Portland.
by Portland.
And that's the same problem in California. If you look at the state of California, it's almost totally red, minus the pockets of LA and the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. And those pockets are so oversaturated that it completely, and that's why we have the Electoral College. And it's the same problem in California.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's the whole push to split California.
Right.
Because they're wanting, like, we don't want these people who are sitting in a city somewhere to govern how we're living out here in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're wanting to split it so they can make their own state and govern themselves.
Yeah, it was actually called CalExit.
Yes.
Really?
I think they were signing stuff to make it a prop on the ballot.
I can't remember what.
It didn't make it, but yeah, pretty crazy.
I'm hoping it does one day, and hoping it does split, and the Senate recognizes it, because I think that would be a good move for California in general.
Yeah.
Because here's my point of view. So if those in LA and the Bay Area want to run their own government, how they want to run it, fine.
Right.
Why would you be against someone else wanting to run their own government their own way?
Well, exactly.
So, again, it's the idea of local governments running how their people there deemed fit to run. So, anyway, at least that's how I think it's supposed to run.
Yeah, and then I also wonder about, like, the implications of, like, how, like, let's say California split, like, the implications of, like, how that would really pan out, and, like, the repercussions that you wouldn't realize until they, like, kind of hit you in the face, and you're like, oh. Because, I mean, I don't know how it works when a state splits in two. Like, how does that logistically...
Well, last time a state split in two was Civil War, and that was Virginia and West Virginia.
Right.
And that was obviously a contention between who was going to support the Union, who was going to support the Confederacy. And so how it would be done nowadays would be they would have to ratify it, the state would, and then that would go before the Senate. And the Senate has to ratify it to create the new state.
Yeah.
Just like if we were going to take Puerto Rico and become a state, it would have to go before Congress. They would have to ratify it. So.
Right.
Now, Bailee, are you glad to be back in a more conservative state?
Yes, I officially live in the state of Georgia now, guys.
I hope that was okay. I just told everyone. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's a really exciting thing for me. I'm like so excited to be back. We actually drove, so I've been in the car for 33 hours over that.
And then you hopped on a plane.
And then I hopped on a plane.
Traveling the country.
So just going everywhere.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's good to be back. It's long awaited, so I'm excited. But I didn't even have time to unpack. Just threw my stuff in the room and
good.
So
well, not good, but glad that you came here. And side note, I also got a little request, kind of random but fun, from Dan the Plumber, who's been paying attention. He said, Alyssa Ashe, tell us more about Ted Cruz. Well, if you want, I will for a second. I absolutely adore Senator Ted Cruz. I think he's fantastic. He was actually the first person I interviewed. Well, first senator for a news package back in college. It was really fun. I used to live in Texas, so when I interviewed him, I'm like, oh my goodness, we have this Texas connection. And he attended Harvard and Princeton, and he's a really fantastic debater. I love watching him debate. He's so good, he's sharp, he's on his feet, and he is so intelligent. And so I'm really hoping that he will be able to keep his seat. It's a tough race. You know, he's going against Beto O'Rourke, who has the most record high numbers of campaign funds just coming in from like all private donors. So it is a record, and it's insane. But we were able to go to Houston, Texas for a rally and hear Senator Ted Cruz, and I absolutely loved it, and I'm thankful that he did get to speak for a while. You know, sometimes we see these candidates come out for like just 2 minutes, and they kind of just talk about how great President Trump is, slam their opponent, talk about what they believe in for like a minute, and then they're gone. And so I really enjoyed the fact that, you know, Senator Cruz took his time, and I think he did a wonderful job. And what else is cool, that rally was actually his idea. He asked President Trump to come and endorse him, and then they filled the Toyota Center, and there were thousands waiting outside that Micah got to interact with and show you guys, and so that was really fun. So thank you for asking that, Dan the Plumber.
There was a question from Jody Lynn, said, what about Kemp in Georgia? So Kemp is facing off against Stacey Abrams in Georgia for governor, and there's been a lot of heat in Georgia about this, because Stacey Abrams basically went outside the state to get a bunch of funding and campaigned like out in California and all over the place, and is really a progressive liberal. And Kemp is one of those, you know, I'm not really much of a politician, and I'm just kind of a conservative.
He's a grassroots kind of guy.
And so
very conservative.
It's almost like you took a more progressive Hillary Clinton versus a Donald Trump kind of campaign going on in Georgia.
Very much
and
so.
It is very much split. It is very split in Georgia. You have those who heavily endorse Stacey Abrams, and you have those who are heavily endorsing Kemp.
I personally think Kemp is going to win. I think it's going to be extremely tight, though.
I do believe it's going to be a tight race.
I do think Kemp is going to win, but I think I'm going to be biting my nails for like a while. Like, I think it's going to be very, very close. Yeah. You know.
Swoosh says you're the new Georgia expert now.
Oh. Okay.
Now, interesting thing is because he is doing a rally in Macon, Georgia, and I am assuming Kemp will be there.
Yeah.
And if that's going to occur, how is that going to affect the race? Is it going to boost Kemp's numbers?
Well, here's the thing. He's been very vocal about his support for Kemp months and months ago. So I think it might, although Kemp has a lot of support. I think this could be the final push that he needs, kind of, you know, especially since they're so neck and neck. I think it could be like the final, like, kick to the finish line, you know? And I don't know. So he's been very vocal about his endorsement of him, but I do think that it could be kind of like the ice, like sealing the deal for him, for sure, in that race. But I guess we'll see. So.
Yeah.
We will. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if Kemp pulls it out. I would love for Kemp to pull it out. I've seen some of his campaign ads. I know Sandy Sandy Personified just stated, I love Kemp's campaign ads. It's absolutely true. There are some hilarious
Very
ones.
authentic.
Very authentic.
Very authentic and unique, original. Yeah.
Way better than...
Not politically correct.
Way better
Not
than
at all.
Rick Scott's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Way better.
There's very few politicians that stick out to me that I really, really like. Like, most of them I'm kind of indifferent to, even if they are conservative. There's very few that really stick out to me. He sticks out to me. Like, I just think he's fantastic.
Good. And you guys will be able to hear him speak in Macon, Georgia at that rally that Liz and cameraman James will be going to. So make sure to tune in for that. And we're going to wrap up pretty soon, but if you guys have any final questions, let us know over here in the YouTube chat. We'd love to answer them for you guys. And do you guys have any final thoughts? Anything else you want to say regarding tomorrow?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Another fun day, just, you know, campaigning for the president and, you know, talking to supporters, and it'll be fun. So we're excited to see you guys and hopefully meet some of you, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we've gotten some requests for a wrap-up prayer, and so Micah, do you want to do that this time?
Sure.
Be nice if someone else would. Thank you so much.
No problem. Well, let's pray. Father, thank you so much for bringing us to here in Florida to hear President Trump speak and to be out here with a lot of great people. I ask for protection over President Trump and everybody tomorrow at the rally, that you would just be watching over everyone, watch over the first responders there, and give them the eyes to see any trouble spots if they need to address it, Father. I ask that you would be over us, you would give us the strength and the stamina to keep going and go through tomorrow and beyond, all the way through midterms, Father. And I ask this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
No problem.
That was wonderful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate each and every single one of you guys. We are so thankful for you, and we're really excited to bring you guys the rally tomorrow. And for Right Side Broadcasting Network, I'm Alyssa Ashe.
Bailee Byers.
And I'm Micah Messer.
God bless and good night.